Welcome to the world of Rouge. I am Oliwia Rouge and Shredy is here with me. I found today a reason to go shopping. Because when we started to do the podcast, I was like, every week I'm going to have something else on, you know? And now, because we did so many episodes, I was really searching for something to put on. And I thought, okay, maybe it's now time to go to shop something new.
Did you buy stuff?
No, not yet. But I think for the next week, I need to go.
Okay.
Or I need to find something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because also I was...
Or you come every time with the same clothes, but you change the tie and then you have a different color. So instead of buying every time new clothes, you have the same clothes, but with a different color.
To be honest, I'm not such a tie person. I tried it, and sometimes it's nice, but I think I would go more into the girly section. Maybe a dress or something.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but anyway, this is a very, very nice reason to go search for something, so I can surprise myself too. Because I realized that also my style is changing right now a lot. Like months before, I was so much into this hip-hop. We talked about it in one of the episodes. And I was so much into this chilly, milly, I don't care. Like hair, makeup, I don't care. And now, all of the appearance is so much into elegance and classiness. And not only with what I wear, but also with my makeup and my hair. Yeah.
We made an episode about this subject, right? Mm-hmm. About image and appearance and clothes. And
Yeah, and now I can feel so much how it resonates in me and my body, that it got so important for me to have a certain image, how I present myself, with great impact it has on how I go into the world, but also on my mood. Yeah. And this is also leads me to the reflection of last week's episode, because we were talking about speaking in front of the camera, and there is the topic of authenticity too. And when I was doing videos this week, I really felt for Patreon, I was preparing myself, putting makeup on and nice dress and everything. And then I sat in front of the camera and I was like, today I feel authentic in speaking in Polish. And then I did 3 videos in Polish. And the next day I wanted to do one in German and I did it. And afterwards I was I feel actually to do it in English too. So my authenticity was connected a lot to the languages that I'm speaking. And that was so interesting for me to feel it,
Yeah.
Do you also have something like this? Because you're also very multilingual.
Yeah, the language is connected to so many things. So every time I'm using a certain language, it comes with a different set of emotions and a different set of understanding reality and the terminology that is used. And so it takes out of us a whole different identity than when you speak in a specific language. And this is enriching. I'm not so saying something is good or bad. It's just you see, the world of consciousness is endless. And you just enjoy all aspects of it. And you see not only the language, especially when you're an artist, we don't use the language in order to order coffee. Or we use the language in order to talk about deep subjects and about psychology, about human behavior. And we need to explain those phenomena. So using the language is not only a matter of superficial interaction, especially also for us it's a tool. Yeah, it definitely brings a whole different kind of attitude when you speak in a certain language.
That is so true. And now I'm thinking that we could do a whole episode on its own about these different languages and how they have the impact of our identity and how we present ourselves, right? Because also it's not speaking only a certain language, but you have the jargon, Like you also have like a dialect speaking in this language, depending on with who you were surrounded and how you educated yourself. So this makes it also more complex, right?
Yeah. And it's also interesting to see that when you talk to people who don't speak the specific language, that how they are programmed to perceive you. They think they know who you are because you speak with this language, or you speak with this accent. So they bring their judgments, and they have no idea what they're doing. They're just so, programmed to think in a certain way.
This could also be like, I would love to talk about it deeper, because I had this thought too just on Monday. But for now, we have like an interesting question, which I'm like very eager to talk about it, also to share my like opinion on it, because to be honest, I was thinking about it like the whole day today. And as always, I would like to know your opinion on it too. So the question is, what if I want to consult someone or a friend about a problem, and I know they can help me, but I'm afraid that one day they might turn against me and share my secrets with others. I don't know whether I should solve everything by myself, even if it takes time and effort, or take the risk and ask others for help. And 2 weeks ago, I could not like give an answer to it, to be honest. And today I thought that, earlier I was asking opinions of others all the time. Even before I was thinking about myself, how to solve it, I was already sharing a problem that I had. And it didn't matter for me if I was in a context of work, or I was in a context of like meeting people that I know. I just knew I have something that I want to be solved, and then I was sharing it. And for sure, those people were giving me advices, right? And I take advices from people like very serious. But what I now realize for myself is that if I'm like sharing my stuff with others all the time, then I don't give myself a chance to find like the right solution and to build like an intuition, and also the problem solving, right? Because you have a problem and there's like certain steps that one can take to find a solution, like depending on the problem for sure. So me right now, like I really want to find like solutions for myself, especially because we are living in a world of the internet, and we can even like Google other things when we don't know it. Yeah. What do you think, Shredy?
Yeah, I mean, it is not just one question from my point of view. Like it is, if I want to consult someone or a friend about a problem, whether it's someone or a friend, is he relevant to the problem? Mm-hmm. Like kind of, if this friend or someone is a dentist, I would ask him about teeth. But what if my friend doesn't understand anything about this field? What does it help to ask him about anything? I'm saying that because dentist or a mechanic, something very specific. But many things that people are not aware of, that they are very specific, but they are open for interpretation. They ask people's opinions about things that people are not qualified to give even their opinion about them. I mean, we are living in a world that, when it comes especially to the world of humanity, to humanities, psychology, philosophy, all those fields that are not measured with math. And normally they are very difficult to measure. Everyone has an opinion because it's not measurable. And the consequences are not visible, no one can be held accountable. So everyone can express their opinion, and whether it's right and wrong, whether it brings the results or it leads to bad results, whether it destroys everything. Anyway, nobody can be held accountable because you cannot measure the results and you cannot see if it's right, wrong. What is the cause and effect? What led to what? It's not math. It's not physics. Of course, for people who see in this world, like let's talk about psychodrama or about like a human interaction, people who know what those things with actions, it's measurable. It's so easy to know the cause and effect and what led to what. Of course, there's also a lot of gaslight, there's also denial. But here comes the way of how to behave with such incidents. But first of all, do you have your friend or the person that you're asking his or her advice, are they qualified in general to give an opinion about this subject? This is the first thing. Mm-hmm. And the second thing, she says, I know they can help me. Mm-hmm. No. If you know they can help you, then you answer the question. Then if they can help you, then you need their help, first of all. If you need to fix your car and your friend is mechanics and he can fix the car, then he can help you with that. If you have a personal problem, regardless now of the car itself, a personal problem with that person, either you go to a different mechanics who can help you, who doesn't know you personally, and you can pay him. So then you need to pay money. But if you expect for your friend to help you for free, for the car, this is something else. So I'm saying is that already this question is very complicated, and if I want to answer it, it will give me so many scenarios. What if? And I'm using mechanics and dentists and things like this because it's measurable. It's not open for interpretation. But I'm afraid that one day they might turn against me and share my secrets with others. Then you talk here about secrets of what? Secrets of what? Then this is a problem that originates somewhere that you don't want even, like originates in the intention, because you're hiding secrets and they might be used against you. So again, you need to, if the problem is technical, then the solution, you can know where to find it. But when you don't know what the problem actually is, your intentions are not in line with your will to solve the problem, or like kind of you want a specific friend to solve it, but you know he can turn against you. Are there no other solutions? There are no other people. There is no other options. And I don't know whether I should solve everything by myself. No, if you can solve everything by yourself, then you answer the question. You don't want to solve everything by yourself. You can solve everything by yourself, but you don't want to. So it's a matter of will.
Sometimes it takes a lot of effort to solve like certain problems. So
you want your friend to make the effort and you don't want to make the effort?
Yeah, maybe.
But then you're going to sacrifice something substantial in your relationship because you're afraid that he one day or she will turn against you. So what are the priorities here? Me solving my problems on my own, this is part of my sovereignty. Now, if I need help, and everyone can need help, what I'm willing to pay for that help? Either I pay money.
So it's measurable.
Problem solved. Or I pay dignity. So I tell a wrong friend and he can turn against me. Then I have to pay from my dignity for this price.
Oh man, yes.
So somebody needs to know what are you paying for this help? There is nothing for free. Nobody will give something for free.
It's a beautiful example what you said about like you pay with money or with dignity. This brings it to a very, very important point. Yeah. For me, when I'm thinking about like sharing problems, what I was doing a lot like in the past was like I never filtered, or like I did like a group filtration, like can this
rough
yes can this person help me with this problem, yes or no? But for me it was more like this emotional connection. So this is how I was looking at this, if I was sharing it or not, and I also had like this illusion of family, that if I share a problem with someone from my family, for example, the parents, because, they are the parents, they will be able to give you a good advice and help you with something without really looking into the details, how they created their life, if they are like sovereign or not sovereign, if they have the abilities to help you or not. I was just mirroring this, Yeah. But okay, the question is now about a friend.
Yeah, no, it's
parent,
interesting. It is like my question here is about like a help and want to consult someone. Not every time consultation can be help. Sometimes it can be help. And not every help is consultation. Beratung.
Yeah, but the second one, can you like explain it further?
Yeah, like not every consultation is help. Because sometimes consultation can be misleading.
To what the other people wants you to do. So they have their own agenda.
Yeah, they have their own agenda, they have their own interests, they want to mislead you, or they don't know. Their ego wants to express and to practice that they are knowledgeable and to feel the attention of admiration that they know something. So they express their opinion and they give the consultation, but they are not qualified and they don't know what they're talking about. So they also mislead you.
Yeah.
So consultation of who? If I want a consultation about my car, I go to the mechanics. If I want consultation about my teeth, I go to the dentist. But I don't go to have consultation of about something that somebody is not qualified even to talk about it. If I genuinely looking for solutions and for consultation, not for emotional supply, not for emotional validation.
Exactly, because what pops up in my mind, I have like flashbacks to my own, like how I was solving problems. And so many times it's so obvious what you're saying. You have a problem with your car, you go to a mechanic. You have a problem with your teeth, you go to a dentist. But me, along the way, before I was going to the dentist, I was like such in a panic mode, for example, like my whole nervous system was like, what is happening? And then I was going for like sharing my problems and not, I think it was not to get like a solution, but it was more for an emotional supply. Yeah. That they calm me down because I couldn't regulate myself.
Yeah. Unfortunately, many of the group dynamics happen that claim to want to solve a problem, but they're actually looking for emotional supply, validation, group support, emotional support, but not actually to solve the problem. They actually enjoy more the emotional exchange more than solving the problem. They're not even interested to solve the problem. Some even want the problem to stay in order to keep the emotional exchange. If the problem is solved, the party is over. Some people thrive upon chaos and upon problems. So what is the problem? Whom are you talking to? Again, is it consultation? It's different than help, because sometimes we said consultation is not necessarily help, and help is not necessarily consultation. Sometimes you need help. You need, you don't need people to tell you on the phone, what do you think? What do you feel? Oh, how do you feel bad about it? No, I need I need a place to stay. I need to sleep, and I need 200 euros in order to pay something that I don't. So help is not necessarily people talk on the phone, and that's also why I'm coming against this idea of psychology very much, because if you want to build a house, you will not go to the architect and he will sit with you once a week, 1 hour a week for about 6 years, 10 years. And what do you think about the house? In your childhood, did you have a house? What's your perspective of your father about that? No, I need you to build, to make anything. I want to build, I want to solve this problem. And in many fields, you, instead of kind of indulging on talking about the problem, you strategize and you make your steps to solution.
Yeah.
So all those friends that are good with talking and consultation and emotional support and emotional exchange are not only that not actually offering help, in many times they're indulging on the problem and creating more problems than helping, than solutions.
Yeah, that's true, because you didn't solve the problem. You just feel good with yourself, and then you might even sink in it and don't move anymore because you got what you wanted. Now feeling good with oneself. Yeah. Because it's a problem when you feel like uncomfort, right? And you're like, okay, to feel comfortable again, I need to do something, like I need a change. So it adjusts again and everything is all right.
Yeah. Yeah, and also in the past we talked about like the holistic transformation. Mm-hmm. So the solution is not only about, so sometimes the solution can be technical, but you need to grow with it.
Yeah, so like the question that I have now, maybe it might lead to another topic, because I understand what you're saying with the architect, that you need like really that he builds the house. I'm not talking about your feelings here, but humans, we are like both of it, right? We need technical advisors to move ourselves into action, but also we have like these emotions, which also we like that they are seen and taken care of. So you have to know what is the problem. Is it like a technical one or like emotional one, and to who to go to? Because if you do only technical stuff, like what is with the emotions then?
Yeah, that's why I talk about holistic change. You cannot exclude one part from the rest. If you want to solve the problem holistically, you need to consider all aspects of the problem. Also the technical aspect and also the emotional aspect. But you cannot talk only about the emotional aspect. Indulge only on the emotional aspect. And of course, you cannot only talk about the technical aspect and ignore all other aspects. So, but in order to be able to do that, you need a holistic vision. You need to see the whole thing. And many people cannot see the holistic vision because they are busy with their egos and with their interests. So they filter every solution through only how can serve me? How can it serve my ego? So they're excluding all solutions. They cannot see the solutions because they put themselves in the center. Every solution has to come through only this channel, which is me. There are no solutions that can genuinely happen.
Yes, when you were talking about this group dynamics now, and you said like sometimes they even cannot like solve the problem, they don't want to solve the problem, because then what? Then it's over if the problem is solved. The first thing that came into my mind was like lack of vision. If you don't have a vision, for sure you want to stay in the same spot, right? But I mean, if you have a vision, then you solve a problem, and then you leverage, and then you go to the next phase, etappe, whatever, to come near to your vision that you have.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, if there is a problem, then it's defined. My goal is defined. Problem solving is very specific problem and any specific solution. It means that the person is aware of the problem and he wants to solve it. If the person is not aware of the problem, then he will not start even looking for solution. But if there is a problem and the person is acknowledges it, then now we see if the person has the intention to solve it, he is aware of it, but if he or she has the intention to solve it, or he or she are benefiting from its continuity, that it stays. Some people are benefiting from a problem. They don't want it solved. And on the contrary, they will block any option of solving the problem while they're pretending actually that they are the ones who are actually looking for a solution.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm thinking about, you can find it everywhere, right? In like medicine, for example, but also in family systems. Like if your parents are, you have to find a partner, then there's coming like a woman into the man's life and they're like, she's not good, she's not enough, no, 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 no. But then complaining about you have to like have your own family. So it comes like from the inner circles to like the whole systems.
This is a nice, even if this example is a little bit like kind of simplistic, but it's like a nice way of explaining this. That they will tell him that you need to have a family and you need to have a wife or whatever, you know. But then he brings something like this. He brings a girlfriend, and then they start criticizing her. It means that they are not interested in solving the problem, his problem. They are interested to control him, but they will never say, "We want to control you." They start to compete with his girlfriend. They feel jealous of her, so they, "Oh no, we want you." So they criticize her. So they are not interested in solving the problem that he doesn't have a family and he doesn't have a wife. They just want to control him, either by not allowing him have a girlfriend, but they cannot say, "We want to control you." They need to keep on, in order to control him when he doesn't have a girlfriend, they need to keep shaming him and telling him, "You should have a girlfriend." There's also a way of control. There's also how they can control him. "You should have a girlfriend. Why don't you have a girlfriend? I'm better than you. Yeah. I'm better than you. I have my family and I'm better than you." All the time. This is the subtext. When he does brings a girlfriend, he's going out of our control. He's becoming sovereign. He's finding his own way. This girlfriend is bad. Bash, 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 bash. Nice example, like simplistic, but it's nice, of how people are not interested to solve a problem, but they have a hidden agenda.
I get a little bit of cringe when I hear something like this. It doesn't like, I hear the words, I understand it here, but I don't understand it here. How some people like act, you know, how they live their life.
Some people are emotionally poor or spiritually poor, and they have emotional deficit, and they need to fill it. They need to prey emotionally on others. But if others are sovereign and they own their own emotional flow, they cannot benefit from this relationship. So they need to control others. And they will start to act in weird ways. They declare that they want solutions and they are for the benefit of everyone. And they're really working hard on finding the best solution for everyone. But you see, all their actions are not leading to the solution. They're creating even more problems. So their intentions are not in line with what they say that their intentions are.
Yeah.
So here is also something that people that want to solve problems, we need to know whom we are dealing with.
Oh, yes. That's so important to grow this awareness, right? To really start looking like what kind of problem, to define the problem, what is my aim here, and then to really like channel the energies, right? Yeah. It sounds, when you explain this, it sounds like doable, you know? But then you go out into everyday's life and then you are in interactions with others and there's like all this noise, you know, the outside noise, the group dynamic noise, the programming noise. And then it's like difficult not to get like a blurry vision again, not to get blurred by like your own emotions or your wishes, how to see things, or like the subconscious impulses that come up. It's like, for me, it's like a great effort to grow this awareness and to really stay onto like the details, to check for the details, and maybe like to listen for this intuition, you know, and no go into the compromises, not compromising oneself. Yeah. But like for the question, there was this part with the sharing secrets. Sometimes we have like strong bonds with someone, but you never know how the relationship might change. So we have no certainty ever, no?
Yeah, I mean, we need to grow that sense of responsibility and that sovereignty, that there are things that I would not share even with friends. There are things that it is my responsibility. If something goes wrong, The other person will not be held accountable. I'm the one who's being held accountable.
Yeah.
So, again, it requires, this idea of high school or the kindergarten of, let me tell you something, you tell me something, I tell you something, let's talk. This doesn't work. When we are adults, it is not, we cannot be sovereign like this.
That is true. Yeah. I can even feel it in myself then. Like, when you go after this solution, then you feel like this high school, behavior. But when you decide like to take this responsibility, you have your own things, your own life. You don't have like to share everything with everyone. Then you automatically feel like more mature.
Yeah, and also this is something that is, it is complicated because with whom I'm sharing what? First of all, what I experience, what I call secret. What kind of secret is that? Did you do something, that kind of secret? Or you kind of had some kind of interaction with someone that is...
Oh, you ate sugar and you shouldn't eat sugar.
Yeah. You ate something that is...
I ate chocolate.
So what kind of secret is that? And there is something that, secrets can be collaterals. It means that, in some cults, in some environments, in order to make sure that the person doesn't go out of a line of the cult, they need to give some secrets. But not secret, just say, I ate sugar. Something that can really put them in, either embarrass them or put them in, like they film themselves in a compromised position, or they made something really, really criminal or something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And they take this photo and they put it in the table and they hide it, and they will not use it against the person. But if you do something that can put us in danger, then your secret is with us. So we need to be careful of the collaterals that we give to others, because secrets are not just we are sharing secrets. Secrets mean that it can backfire. And again, before I trust a person, first of all, if the secret has to do with us, before I trust a person, how much do we know each other? Do we drink coffee once a month? Or once a week? Or we are married? Or even people who are married would not share everything because everyone has his own things that doesn't want to share with others. Some people live in the closet 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. They don't tell the secret to anyone because they understand what it means when this thing is being exposed. And people who expose secrets, it means that they don't understand what it means. That they need, they're more important, the validation of the other person is more important for them than the holiness of that secret.
Lack of responsibility and maturity, no?
Yeah, lack of responsibility because the person still didn't experience what it means to be held accountable, really, as a result of that. And But in work, for example,
mm-hmm.
in business, it's not about secrets. We're not hiding secrets because it's something illegal or something like this. In business, we're hiding secrets because it's inner policies. And the image or the message of the business must communicate specifically with certain audience in order for the message not to be taken out of context, because everyone can misinterpret our message. And then I must control the narrative. It's not that I'm hiding things. It's not that we are not sharing certain secrets. Many things cannot be shared with certain people or with the public in order for them not to draw the wrong conclusions. Not everyone is willing to understand and to listen and to perceive reality as is. Some people would love to misrepresent the situation in order to feel good with themselves, in order to tell your competition, or in order to take you down out of jealousy, so best if we keep our privacies to ourselves. And this way, things cannot be taken out of context. There's also not sharing secrets. Not because they're going to be used against us. Even if we have nothing to hide, we still don't share so many things in order not to be misrepresented.
Yeah, that's true. You can see it really like everywhere in business, that you have these inner policies. This is out of topic now, but like for me it's so crazy that sometimes the policy is like not to share how much you will like earn until you haven't like passed certain phase of Bewerbung.
Bewerbung, like
applications, you know. Even there, some like draw a line already, where I'm like, but why make a secret about this? But this is like out of topic here.
Yeah, but there's also not. If you would share something like this, the person in front of you will start to make an emotional judgment. Either they would say, "Yeah, you make so much," and they start feeling jealous, or they would say, you're not making so much, you're a loser. Then they will disrespect you. So any piece of information can create a feedback that is not in line with the fact. You know what I mean? So that's why we don't share so many information. And because not everyone is willing to also to listen to the whole picture. You know, if this person makes, let's say, 20,000 euros a year, and this person makes 15,000 euros a year, 20,000 is more than 15,000. But the 20,000 is taking money from the government. You need to see the full picture in order to make a judgment. You cannot just cherry pick one piece of information and base a whole judgment on it. This is something that is that's why we don't share specific information. But, yeah.
I understand. I understand this now more and more. It's like you control like the narrative too, and some things can be so misinterpreted and put out of context. Yeah, because like many people, they don't have like the ability to see it fully. They don't have the interest in see it fully. They don't have the interest to see it fully. So it's like protecting oneself. Yeah.
And even if you have a secret that you're afraid that people know about it, then if it's really important not to tell it, then you don't tell it. If you tell it, it means that it's not so important to be a secret. You don't understand how important that is.
Mm-hmm. So I would like to see the question once again, because you said in the beginning it's like a complex question. There's like many questions to ask before like answering this.
Yeah, and also kind of the relationship, the trust between people, like the person that you trust. I mean, like, how many experiences did you have with that person that he or she proved themselves to be trustworthy, that they really can handle a secret or handle some kind of this responsibility without betraying you? How much? And here's the thing. Just like you go to a bank and you want to take money, they would not give you €1 million immediately. They can give you a credit of 2,000 euros. You bring it back on time with the right interest. Next time they give you 4,000 euros. The time after that they give you 10,000 euros. But if you don't betray your word, the same thing with friendships and emotional exchange. Trust is a currency. You betray me, it's over. I will not give you credit, emotional credit, to respect you before you prove something. So when you share a secret with someone, how many years and how many incidents did this person prove themselves to be trustworthy before you even tell them something?
I like this example a lot with the bank and the friendship now. This makes it more measurable, more understandable for me, for sure. So, like, now when I see this question, is the biggest thing is, can you solve it for yourself or not? Like, can you solve it by yourself?
It depends on the problem.
Yeah.
There's no problem. That's what I'm saying. It's complex. You cannot summarize all this complexity with yes and no.
Oh my God. I just realized when I was trying to give it like a little bit of a summary question that I'm just going back to the tail, you know? Okay, so I will not try it. Okay, but for sure I understand, like, I like this a lot with the simple examples that make it like more measurable, because you are so right, you know, we are not in a world of, like, we are living in a world of physics, right? But when it comes to being with other people, like, it's so difficult, you know, to have something to really grab on. So we really have to try to ask the right questions and to try to perceive the reality as it is. Yeah, so there's like a lot of steps, again, like to do before like stepping into action.
Yes. Yeah. And by the way, we already...
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for your opinion. I also myself had a lot of time to think about this question. And as always, I would take it home with me and reflect on it the next week. And for sure buy something new. Yes. Like, thank you so much for your engagement and each episode. It's a lot of fun to read the comments. And if you have like any new questions, then I would be very happy like to talk about it and to ask Shredy's opinion. And we wish you a lot of fun with this episode. Take care.